Evening, folks. Coming up in about 10 minutes. No thanks to Facebook, yeah? Oh, I tell you. They are such a bunch of... You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Hold on a sec. This guy... Oh, dear. Just a sec. Running a bit late with the setup, the usual setup. Because I was trying to work out one or two things that I couldn't do. Like even get out a promo for the show. It's an absolute bloody nightmare with Facebook at the moment. Look, we're just streaming on YouTube, yeah. It's fine. Everything's good. We're still going out. You know, the show must go on. Seeing as it only started back yesterday officially. Yeah, so anyway, hopefully some of the folks are aware of the fact that I have been jailed for speaking my mind basically, offering to assassinate the Prime Minister for a fiver. They didn't seem to like that on Facebook. It was satire, yeah. But then what do you expect from someone who has all the charisma of Data from Star Trek in charge of Fascist Bot? What do you expect? They haven't got a clue about humour, let alone British humour. And obviously many of us are pretty desperate as to what we can do to get rid of this woman and have a Prime Minister who is actually looking out for the interests of the British people as opposed to a bunch of foreign fascists. Right, okay. Yeah, Thomas Bell, hello. Good evening, sir. Please, everybody. Hold on. Getting a call. Oh, yeah. Let's see who this is. Hello?
Who's that?
It's Ollie, and you're on air. You're live on air. Who's that?
It's Chris.
Chris Ford. Hello, Chris Ford. How are you?
Well, it's only 10 to 6.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I've started streaming, Chris. I've started streaming. Go.
Oh, okay.
What would you like to say? Why didn't you call in another 10, 15 minutes? And I'd love to talk to you and find out what you have to say about what's going on. But right now, I'm trying to set up the show. Hey?
I was just trying to call out.
Chris, do me a favour, because I'm trying to set up the show, and because I have been so delayed today, off the back of being jailed by Facebook, that I haven't managed to read all the news that I need to read before the show, before I can do the news section, which is somewhat frustrating considering it's a news show. So look, darling, if you could give us a bell back, I'd really appreciate that. I would really would, because I would very much like to hear your opinion. So can you give us a bell back in about 15 minutes or so, something like that? God bless you, Chris. God bless you. Thank you. All right. Aye. Yeah, you know what, folks? Look, do us a favour. If you're going to call during the show, not 10 minutes before the show, because it's always chaos. Yeah? Yeah. Ah, right. Okay, good. Yeah. See you in a minute. We got 7 people watching because... guess what? Nobody knows that I've been jailed on Facebook. Do me a favor, everybody. Get onto Facebook, and I will put the promo now, or I will try to put it on. I don't even know if I can. Let me see if I can put a... let me see if I can put the promo that you can share on Facebook so that at least people know. Because people will go to the Daily Brexit page on Facebook assuming that it's there, and of course it isn't, and they'll be wondering why. They'll just think that, I don't know, I'm taking a night off or something like that. Now, I will try and post this, but there's a link in it, and so seeing it is, I don't know that they will, look, and they've taken out all the formatting, so I can't post it anyway. Oh no, you're only allowed to put in 200 characters. Okay, this is part 1 of it. This is part 1. Please add some, I don't know, paragraphs into it or something. This is part 2. They won't let me put in the whole lot, will they? Probably not. Never mind, we won't put it all in. Take out the link. Because you're not allowed to put links in on YouTube. Oh no, you're not allowed to put a link in on YouTube. Which is why one of the reasons why I can't stand YouTube. Because you can't have a proper conversation, can you? And share links. Right, okay. Folks, those 3 messages that I just put on YouTube, it's in 3 parts. That's one promo. If you could please go over to as many groups as possible over in Fascist Bot and let them know, that would be great. I've got 5 minutes to read through the news. I'll explain a bit more of what happened at the top of the show. And yeah, if I sound frustrated, it's because I am, yeah. Because it is difficult enough for us to get the word out. It shouldn't even be necessary. Why do we have a Prime Minister that can't just do what the British public told her to do? And so folks like me, we try and do what we can, and we're being thwarted at every which way by some twat who can't even smile on camera. Zuckerzits, or whatever his name is. He's got all the bloody charisma of Data out of Star Trek. And it's very, very frustrating. Anyway, all right, I'll see you in a few minutes. God bless you. And yeah, I'll try and regain my sense of humor. Yeah, all right, okay. Oh, blimey. Who's that? Supposed to be reading the news, yeah? Supposed to be getting my show together. Go away! Call when the show's on! You know, the BBC, they get 4 billion quid a year, or is it nearly 5 billion quid a year? They can afford all the producers in the world. They can field the calls before the show. They can do this. They got runners and all the rest of it jumping about for each and every show. Folks like me, we have to do the whole lot on our own. Everything. The difference is that we're actually trying to deliver some truth, not some bloody propaganda. I'll tell you what. Anyway, I'll try and recover my sense of humor. I'm running late, folks. It's going to be 5 minutes. Hey, Baxter, can you hear me, mate? Chris?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, mate. Okay, I'll mute you for a sec. Or I'll put you back in the green room for a sec. God bless you. I know you just called. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the case.
Thank you.
Hey, can you hear me, mate?
Yes, I can.
Good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, last track, and then we're going live. Live after this, people. Well, we're already live. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you're watching an archive version. Oh. Hello. There you go. If you're watching an archive version, by the way, yeah, fast forward another 2-3 minutes, and then I'll be kicking off. And do us a favor, people. Do us a favor, please. Share. Tell people about. Only going out on YouTube tonight. I'm jailed on Facebook for basically saying the way it is. So please, just make sure that folks are aware. If they want to, the people are probably going to fascistbot.com or whatever it is /Daily Brexit. And wondering, whether there's a show or not. There were a lot, but 2,000 people watched it last night or something. If those folks are going there, it would be really nice if they knew to come here. So if you people could let them know, I'd be very, very grateful. God bless you. Thank you. Or alternatively, they could just put on the BBC and be told what to think by a bunch of EU fanboys. Axiom Curve says Facebook tomorrow. No. God, I'm fed up of that place. Absolutely fed up to the back teeth of being messed about by people that are trying to frustrate democracy. That's what's going on, whether it's here in the States or wherever. That's exactly what's going on with all the social networks. Certainly with the ones that are owned by the likes of Google. I do not want to be going. We got to stop relying on these people, yeah, because all they do is mess us around. I've had to spend the last 2 hours trying to work out how to get a stream out. We've got 7 people watching this now. 7 people watching. 2,000 last night. 7 people watching this because we're being messed around. So 2 hours basically down the pan. None of this should be necessary. We went to the ballot box. We said what we wanted. Oh, blimey. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's just start the damn show, shall we? Hey folks, good evening, good people. And now, Groundhog May. Please have a stroke. A heart attack, just die, frankly. We've had enough. We want our country run by the British. I said something like that last night. That's why I got banned from Facebook. Why is this woman still our Prime Minister? What the bloody hell is going on? Where is Brexit? No Facebook tonight because I got jailed. Fascist bot hates reality, just like Westminster. Please support free speech. PayPal.me/Brexit. Or you could pay for propaganda. I think it's 140 quid a year. Just give it to the BBC. Yeah, no, I'm in good spirits, really, people. I'm in good spirits, honestly. Everything is absolutely fantastic, hunky-dory, no worries whatsoever. Baxter, are you there, sir?
Yep.
Oh, bless you,
Are
man.
you?
Yeah. yeah, we're on.
Spirit.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what a... So it's basically another day. It's just another... I called today Groundhog May, yeah. It's just another load of old crap. Why is this moron still in charge of a great country? That's a question, Chris.
No idea. Because really the withdrawal act says that we leave the EU on the 29th of March, 2019, that is. But the leaving date can be subject to amendment. Now, apparently... with her going over to the EU to discuss her troubled plans, she's now apparently changed it, or hopefully the government or parliament is wanting the date by at least 29th of January.
What do you mean? Hold on. Whoa. What do you mean? It's Brexit Day... leaving is the 29th of March at 11 p.m. GMT. What are you saying? What happens at the end of January then? What's that date got to do with anything?
The latest date that they can debate the final leave clause, which is up for discussion about the Irish border.
So now, right. Hold on. Whoa. So just to be clear, we are now being told today, or the last couple of days, I think, that the 29th of January is the final date that her deal can be yayed or nayed in Parliament.
Yes,
and so if it is nayed, then presumably we just automatically go to no deal.
Yes, WTO rules. Which is hopefully what most of the country is wanting. However, there is some, I suppose, dispute about the Irish border. Now, I heard on the political channel today, there are 319 roads out of Southern Ireland into Northern Ireland and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So having a border is totally out of the question. So the EU really have put this just to stomp the actual plan of hers. How can I say this without being rude?
It's a red herring. It's a lot of nonsense just to somehow keep us tied to this regime that nobody ever voted for. No?
Yes, of course it is. Mrs. May and all the state players continue making the same critical, damaging error.
Okay, all right. We know. So we know that. Now hold on, Chris. Do me a favor. Yeah, this audio is dreadful. I don't know why Can we speak on Skype or something? If I give you the number and you call me on that, because your audio is cutting in and out, and I've had such a technical load of old crap today as it is. I don't need more. I'd really like this show to be a good quality show. Can I give you the telephone number and you call this number? It's a UK national rate, and then we can talk, hopefully, with better quality. In fact, it's free if you use Skype. Let me give you that, or just call me on Skype. You've got me on Skype anyway. Would you mind doing that? And I'll go through the news in the meantime. All right?
I don't mind, but unfortunately, I do have a few headphones.
I'll tell you what, people. If we can't be heard, we haven't got a hope. Why can't people try and get their audio sorted before they come on the show?
Hey.
It's frustrating, Chris. It's frustrating enough trying to get a show on and then to be told, oh, yeah, we jailed you because some snowflake didn't like a post that you put out that stated the bleeding obvious that basically we just want democracy and, yeah, maybe a bit passionate about it. But guess what? That was, 2.5+ years ago that we had that referendum. And now she's saying, oh, yeah, no, it's all right. You don't have to vote. This vote that they were supposed to have yesterday, yeah, that she... Oh, I've got Christine Ford calling in now. Okay. Christine, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second and you can pick up from what I say, please. So they had this vote yesterday. They had this vote yesterday, or supposed to be that vote yesterday. And now they're telling us, no, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it just is at the end of January instead of in December. So another month, another 5-6 weeks, it's fine. Another 6 weeks down the road, it's fine. And then we've only got 2 months after that, and that's supposed to be it. Now, look, I'm sure that it is possible, if you have professional people involved, I'm sure it is possible for there to be organization, for example, to keep the planes flying and, keep things flowing and stuff like that. But the reality is that we've got a civil service that is working against us, that is wanting for us to stay in the EU by hook or by crook. The likes of the Jeremy Haywood, who, is gone now, no loss, frankly, Ollie Robbins and so on and so forth, they're all politicized. They are all biased. These people are not capable of looking out for the interests of Britain and the European people as well. Bugger the regime, the European people, to make sure that trade keeps flowing and so on and so forth. They're not capable. And now she's saying, oh, we'll put it back till the end of January, as Chris Baxter just said. We'll put it till the end of January, and then, it'll be fine. And then you can decide it's my way or no deal. Well, we know they don't want no deal. We know that they do not want no deal. That's what we should have, because that's what Brexit was. When we voted to get out, that's exactly what no deal equates to, i.e. WTO rules. But what's happening here is that she's putting it off, saying, oh, so I can stay in power as your prime minister until then, and then we can have the vote, despite the fact that the EU, even today, that drunker bloke said, there's no negotiation here. No negotiation. No renegotiation on what has already been agreed between the EU and Olly Robbins, i.e. Angela Merkel, and Theresa May. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, blimey, hold on a sec. Right, okay. So, yes. So that's the situation we're in, where basically these people are just kicking the football down the road. Hold on, Chris, please. We're kicking the football down the... do I have to turn the audio down here? Kicking the football down the road, instead of getting Parliament getting real and saying Theresa May, you have to go now. You failed. You've had 2.5 years. You've done nothing useful for the British people. Nothing. What you're proposing is not Brexit. It is not leaving. It is not exit. It's giving the EU a veto over our future. Giving a foreign competitor a veto over our future. This woman cannot be trusted. And the Conservative Party must get rid of her and put in a Brexiteer. And yes, it really is frustrating. And then particularly, I have to say, and I wanted to have a calm show tonight. I wanted to have a quiet show tonight. But then, you get jailed from Facebook, and then you're trying to produce a show, and you're working out how you can stream on your various channels and so on and so forth. Now, if I take this call from Baxa, it's going to cut off Chris Ford, and so I will catch back up with Baxa later. And in the meantime, I would like very, very much to hear what Chris Ford has to say about this. Chris, darling, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, Ollie, I
Go on.
have sent you a video about half an hour ago that I've just watched myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interview by Kerry Cassidy.
Kerry Cassidy? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll send you the
is.
chap's name who she's interviewing later.
Okay.
But it will give you a lot more insight
Mm-hmm.
into what is planned for the future.
Oh, blimey. Okay. What does that involve?
Well, basically, it's that in the next couple of days, the letters should go in, vote of no confidence.
Yeah.
To start.
You're talking about the Tories putting in their letters to the 1922 committee, those 48 letters.
Yes. Now, the other thing is...
how have they not got 48 letters in? How did they not have 48 letters in the day after she was elected, for God's sake? Or at least when she said, we don't need to do parallel talks. Or when she said, let's concede that there's a problem with the Northern Irish border. There never was. It was always a red herring. All that she needed to do was say, talk trade or bugger off. But of course she didn't, because she's thrown all of our cards away. She's thrown all of the cards away. We have a trade deficit with the EU. Sorry, Chris. Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
Well, if you let me finish.
Yeah, I apologise.
Okay. Now then, we have two choices. Well, not really two choices, but the one choice that we don't mind taking is no deal.
That's right.
And the other that they have ready for a backup is no Brexit.
Yes, that's what they want. That's what they want.
And yeah, and on that video, you'll find plenty of information regarding the situation as it is and the scenarios that we're about to face. So my advice to anybody listening is to stock up your cupboards, because they will crash the monetary system.
Yeah. This is it, isn't it?
Right.
This is it. You're talking basically about the deep state's pursuit for globalization at all costs, irrespective of how that affects societies, no?
Yes.
These people are highly dangerous, psychopathic people that we're dealing with. Pardon, go on.
There's also info regarding the French, the yellow vests.
Mm-hmm.
And information there that we haven't heard yet. That they have 25 proposals for Macron, and they will not stop until every one of them is taken notice of.
Really?
The whole list.
What sort
Now,
of proposals?
I'm waiting for the list
Mm-hmm.
at present,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't about raising the petrol prices,
Mm-hmm.
but that is what they used to kick it all off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's gone way
And
beyond that.
the
If
French
it
are
ever
quite
really
good at-
was just about that.
Quite good at protesting.
I'm sorry, Chris?
The French have always been quite good
Yeah,
at protesting.
they are. The number of times I've been
Well
caught
over
in
now.
train strikes in France. Yeah, they are. They're very good at
It's
speaking.
not the ordinary people that are setting cars on fire and tyres on fire. That is the opposition, the Antifa.
Do you think so? You think that Antifa is stirring things up to try and create martial law
yeah.
in France?
Yes. Yeah, the same that happened here, but not to that degree. You know that Soros pays to bus in.
Yes.
Only this time, on Sunday, the police did the right thing, didn't they? They kept them away from the marchers.
Yeah.
That was the right thing to do. Perhaps the other march that we had, they were just practicing, because that's where the chaos started, was from the Antifa.
Now, okay, so you say that an endgame scenario for Brexit is if the
No deal.
Looking at it from the point of view of the globalists, the worst case scenario for them is that we are on the brink of no deal. Now,
Yes.
because if it goes beyond that and we do get no deal on the 29th of March, then presumably it's too late for them to do anything.
Well,
No?
we have no worries on that score if we trade with the World Trade Organization.
How would there be a problem with food running out on the shelves, which is what you were talking about a minute ago?
Well, crashing the banking system. And you see, they don't want to do that. This is why we have so much pressure on us, because it would bring down the banks this time. There wouldn't be any bailout.
No, they've run out of road on that front. Interest rates are dead low and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Deutsche Bank's exposure alone. One sec, Chris. Deutsche Bank's exposure alone is something like 2/3 of the global GDP. Huge amount. Pardon?
Was raided 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was. Yes, they've been raided off the back of the Panama Papers.
Yes.
Okay, so but the fact is, though, the global economy is a Ponzi scheme. It's actually got nothing to do with Brexit. But what you're saying is that Brexit could be used as an excuse to break.
Oh yes, yes.
But how? But the thing is, though, that's no good to them, is it? Is it? You're saying what they would do is crash,
out like they were last time in 2008.
Hold on a
Governments
sec.
Can't bail them out again.
No. Hold on. Okay, so this time round, the theory would be, I suppose, that they would, if the worst came to the worst, they would crash the financial system before we're due to leave, create the chaos, and then offer the solution, which is stay in the EU, and at least we can be together to ride out the storm. Is that what you're suggesting?
Don't forget, you've got Italy. They're piling the pressure monetary wise on Italy. You've got Spain, even though they are probably
sure. We know that all these countries have got weak economies and so on and so forth. Yes. But the actual practicality from their point of view of busting the economy, the global or letting it actually run its course and just stop spinning the plates and let organics if it does it actually help them to bust the economy? Because if it was, let's say it was a couple of weeks or a month before Brexit Day proper, the 29th of March, and that they tried to do that at that stage, there is a big risk, is there not, that the UK could just say, you know what, we don't care. What difference does it make? The economy is broken anyway, whether we're in the EU or not. If we had a PM, oh mate, this is a high hope situation here. But if we had a PM that was remotely a genuine Brexiteer, I don't know that there is such a thing, at least in Parliament. If we did, though, then they could well turn around and say, you know what, we don't. What difference does it make? We were better off with a pound. We better get out of the EU anyway and continue with Brexit, because why would we want to be exposed to the debt that the EU has, which is way, way bigger than any debt that the UK has, Chris?
Well, it is, but it's the bubble again. It's got to burst.
Does it necessarily have a correlation with Brexit, or is that just something that they will try to use? I know they would, but actually, does it have a correlation with Brexit at all?
Well, if we're out and we're not paying into the EU, they can't support the countries that are already there, the other 27.
Well, why should we?
Well, why should we?
I don't really see the logic. I can see how they would use exactly the scenario you're talking about. Actually, I expect they will, because it's ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. They will frighten the living daylights out of the regular guy going down the street, and that person will go, "Oh, we'll do what you want. We'll do what you want," which is awfully sad, but that's human nature, and that's the way it's used, the divide and rule and all the rest of it. But from the actual practical aspect, people could look at this and go, well, if the global financial system is crashing, all the more reason why we should be out of the EU, which is so heavily exposed, and which hasn't even published any accounts ever. Not that have been signed off. Not that have been signed off. In other words, nothing that's legitimate. Why would... Go on. Yeah,
it's been predicted many years ago,
yes,
that this was what it was building up to.
Yeah.
Now, whether Brexit will crunch it, I don't really know.
Yeah.
It'll perhaps be blamed and will be punished for it. We might have really hard times for a while. But there is certain people that can stand that, and if you've got nothing in the first place,
yes,
and you could grow some food, and
yes,
we have a black market as well,
yes,
and get some food from there,
yes,
I can't see that we'll starve.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you do have an opportunity to get an allotment, if you don't already have a bit of a back garden or what have you, do.
Yeah.
Because things are going to go tits up. That's what they want. There's way too many of us on the face of this planet with automation coming through. This migration thing to help the elderly have their pensions is nonsense. None of these people are going to have jobs at this rate with automation. We don't need more people in Europe. We need less because of automation. Go on, Chris. Sorry, go on.
If people can't buy stuff, what happens to the corporates?
Well, bugger the corporates, frankly. But I mean, they obviously don't see it that way, and it's a real problem. And when we haven't got jobs, then we're not going to be able to spend, so much money on these people. It's going to be impossible for electricity to be as ridiculously priced and fuel generally as it is, energy generally, for example. It's just not going to be possible for them to charge these kind of prices because people ain't going to have the money. So they're not going to be able to rip us off to the extent that they have been. They will.
Well,
I'm sorry to say. Chris, what do you think? I think they're going to want to cull us.
Well, yeah, there's that as well. The AI business.
Yeah.
That they've made preparations for everything, Ollie.
It's
the preparations
awful. It's
are
awful.
all in place.
Brexit. I don't know if you'd agree with me, Chris, but to me, Brexit is a mere battle, a crucial one. The fight for the UK and the fight for the US are small, yet, well, not so small really, but they're crucial battles in a much bigger war. Whoa, Chris, a much bigger war, the war on globalization, yeah. Something that makes Hitler look like a footnote, frankly.
Yeah, if people can stand it. I mean, I don't want to frighten people, really.
People need to get real, though.
You have to face facts at times.
Yes, they do.
And I won't be here to see it all. But there is young people that will have to go through it.
Yeah.
And will they be equipped to go through it? I don't know.
No, they're not. They're not equipped. They all think the EU's great. They've all been schooled on common purpose. No, not all, but the majority of the youth are completely brainwashed. If they put Tony Blair up as the next president of Europe, they'd probably go fine. That's how, frankly, stupid they are.
Yeah. I mean, all we have to do, really, is get somebody else in that say, right, no deal. We're out. And the rest of Europe will collapse.
Yeah.
Everybody wants out. We don't get any news, do we, from Europe? But you can find it if you look for it in foreign countries, and get an outside view.
Yeah.
And it's not just happening to us either.
No.
It's happened in Middle East, Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia. And it's the corruption that is at the base of it all. And crime among your politicians. And it's got to stop. Humanity cannot survive with these people in charge.
No, you're right. You're right. Not.
The 1%, there's 13 families among the 1% that rule everything. But they haven't got enough yet. They want the world. We know that, don't we?
Yeah.
And 86% of the population of the world has 14% of the wealth that's in the world. So you've got the top 14% owns 86% of the wealth in the world.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, not so long ago.
That is fascism, people. That's fascism.
So you've got their top 40 years then owns 86%.
Hold on. Whoa. We've got Baxter. Chip in when you'd like to, Baxter, but please mute the tab on your browser when you do.
And I mean, not so long ago.
That is fascism.
Yeah, we must change. We must change.
Hold on. Whoa. Got Baxter. Chip in when you'd like to, Baxter.
Okay, Baxter, I'm going to have to mute you.
Tab on your browser.
Yeah, and I mean, not so long ago.
I don't want to mute you, Baxter, but I have to because you're destroying the audio. Go on, Chris, please. Go on.
You can cut me off.
No, I don't want to cut you off. We've
Easier.
never spoken on the show before, and you're speaking so from the heart and things that people really, really need to consider. And if I may say also, somebody of your generation, it's quite rare that they have so much clarity about what's going on. And I find that wonderful and hopeful, I guess. But we are on the verge here, are we not? It's not just the British and Europe. It's this whole planet. We are on the verge. We are on a precipice here. We are months away from a diabolical situation. Go on, Chris.
Well, they've made a mess of it, really, haven't they?
Well, I don't know that they have. I wonder if this is precisely what they want.
Well, I mean, in their eyes, don't forget the psychopaths as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That if they pull humanity and turn us into robots, along with the man-made robots, if you like, that will solve problems. Yeah. It's not the many people that live in this world that created the problems. It's them.
Yeah.
So why should we put up with that? Why should we stand for that? It doesn't make sense. We're human beings at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right.
It's bloody stupid.
Well, it's highly immoral, and it makes you wonder what on earth they think life's about. They ram religion down our throats and say, and basically use religion as a kind of a tool to sell us politics. Hark at that Pope, whatever is Francis, the bloke that seems to smile a lot, for example, always telling us how, we need to accept migration and all the rest of it. No, we need to stop war profiteering. We need to have a fairer trade system for African farmers, for example. These sort of things. We need to be preserving cultures and building on them and helping each other. Instead of which, yes. I don't know. I'll get confused.
Well, what did Theresa May do not so long ago? She went to South Africa, gave Ramaphosa, whatever his name is, a few million. Ramaphosa. And what does he do? He gives the okay to repossess the white farmers' land.
That's right.
Now, what's that all about?
Well, it's genocide. It's a sort of a slow genocide, isn't it? Again, where we just don't object. We just don't object in the UK, for example. Pardon, Chris?
They live next door to Zimbabwe. Don't anybody cross the borders anymore and put the word out?
Yes, but the media's not covering it, Chris, are they? For the same reason that they're not talking about how no deal is a good deal for the UK. Or they're not saying that, we cannot put up with misogyny with Islam in the UK, for example, or Sharia law. Or they're not talking about the fact that we shouldn't really be relying on tooth fairy fanatics like the Archbishop of Canterbury to tell us what to think. They still, or they tell us, oh no, you should be reading this interview with Tony Blair, who is a war criminal, 1 million dead because of this guy. We shouldn't be listening to anything.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be giving them the time of day for the same reasons. For the same reasons, they're not telling us about South Africa, for example. They're not being honest about Donald Trump. It seems to me they're certainly not being honest about the Clintons. Okay. We've got Baxter here as well. Baxter, you've been listening to Chris Ford. What would you like to say?
I think really I've tried to explain that we need a change in the government or nothing will change. None of the political parties are offering real change.
We need a change in the government, or we need a sea change in our political system?
We need actually a new prime minister.
Well, that would be a start. But even if we did have a new prime minister, would that Chris Ford has just been telling us how she's concerned that they will use this situation that we're in now with Brexit as a possible reason to crash the economy, i.e., just to let organics take hold, so these plates that they're spinning fall off, crash, and then we've got a massive global crisis, which potentially, and I think would make 2008 look like a picnic. That's Chris's concern. If they were to do that, if, for example, we had, let's say, for example, we had Boris Johnson in charge, would he really be any better for the British? Because he's another Bilderberger after all, no?
I actually don't think Boris will ever get in.
Hold on, Chris Ford. Baxter, go on.
I don't think Boris will ever get in. He's now put himself out of the running with all the stupid comments and his bad negotiation tactics inside.
Okay, what do we need to do? Are there any candidates in there? I mean, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for example, would you trust him?
Yes, I certainly would.
You don't think that he's another member of the establishment that is just playing just playing good theatrics here?
He's not standing up and saying what he is as if he's a member of the theoretical theatre. No, I think he's a serious leaver, says it like he says it in his diplomatic fashion.
I think it's fair to say also that you are less of you're less concerned by the sound of it that the elite in this world are basically looking to crush the majority of humanity, to clear us out, which is what a lot of us are fearing now. But you don't seem to take that view.
I don't seem to believe that, because I think what needs to happen is that we need a government who must hold the bankers who caused crashes to account. Fractional reserve banking system putting money creating banks into the public hands to take over. And like we spoke earlier, something similar to the Yellow Jackets must start standing up in the UK and want to do as what we want.
We've got Tom on Discord as well. Tom, are you listening to this? Have you heard what Chris Ford and Chris Baxter have been saying?
Yes, I have, Ollie.
What's your take on this?
It's awful. It's gonna be awful.
What's your take?
Video.
Excuse me. Carry on, please. Sorry about that.
I see this backstop. I see we're gonna get this backstop, but it's not gonna be good for us. You know what I mean?
Your audio is terrible. I can't hear you. Please speak a bit closer into the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Thank you.
Did you hear what I said about the backstop?
No, not really. Go on.
Right. I said we've got this backstop, which will probably let us remain in the EU, if I know what she's thinking of, and the rest of them. So yeah, I think that's going to be awful. That's all I really had to say about it.
If it goes to another referendum, I've read an article where it was stated that there will be up to 4 options on the ballot. And don't forget,
What are
it's
those
a
for?
Remain government that's going to put that out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we know that.
And then we'll have to choose the worst, well, the best of 4 evils, if you like. So there's no way
Yeah.
that we want to accept another referendum.
This is just incredible. This is just absolutely
But it's all been
unbelievable.
done before.
If they defy democracy in this way, but are they not being beaten by events with what's going on with the Yellow Jackets? Chris Baxter,
Well,
what do you
that's
think? Well, go on, Chris
she
Ford.
cancelled the vote that was supposed to take place today. Because she knows she's not going to win.
Supposed to take place yesterday.
So she had to whip over and see Merkel and the rest of them
Yeah.
to find out what she's got to do next.
No, yeah, but never mind that. Never mind. Whoa. But never mind that. What's going on with the green jackets? Does the green vests? Does that not override all of this? What we're seeing in France is very likely now to overspill into the UK. Setting aside all the, if you like, the conspiracy stuff, which I personally have to say I buy. I'm very, very worried about it. On the other hand, setting that aside, let's pray to God that we're wrong about that. If that's the case, then and so we're in a more natural state of affairs, a more normal, if you like, state of affairs. What we're seeing in France, already filtering into the Netherlands, into Belgium, they were trying to storm the EU Parliament the other day, into Bulgaria. Are we not likely to see, if there's any attempt to derail the democratic will of the British people, are we not likely to see these yellow vests doing the same thing in the UK, an overspill into the UK on a grand scale? And by the way, I will be there personally. But what do you say to that, Chris?
Well, the next danger, you see, all these scenarios will already have been discussed. And all the plans are laid out how they deal with it.
Well, how could they deal with that? How could they? I mean, if people come out in the way they have in France, and I have no idea how much they've cost the French economy so far, but I would imagine it is billions already. If they were to, plus the fact that Macron has now had to say he's going to stump up however much money for the minimum wage, and so on and so forth, money that France cannot afford, which the EU is now looking at France and going, hold on a sec, you can't balance your books. So they've now got 2 major EU economies, Italy and France, who are throwing out the agreement that they made with the EU, which is what they had. They had an agreement with the EU to keep within a certain fiscal budget. Macron is now saying, we're not doing that because, hey, I've been held to ransom. I've got to bribe these people to get them off the streets, to get the country running, back or whatever. They are in such a pickle. If that happens in the UK as well, again, maybe then we'll start seeing some representation. No?
Well, our debt to the World Bank is 1.6 trillion.
Mm-hmm. Which
and
is
all
manageable.
It takes is that we can't pay the interest.
Yes.
The same as Greece.
Yes.
Now, we've already been gutted out, haven't we?
Pretty much.
So, it makes you think, well, what is there left that they can say?
Yes, but what we would do, what the yellow vests, okay, my point is that the yellow vests can hold the British economy to ransom. And then surely Parliament would go, okay, we'll give you what you want. It's Brexit. No?
It just depends how they deal with the yellow vests, doesn't it? I mean, what is there next to come but a false flag?
False flags. Okay, yeah, another thing again. All right, Baxter, are you listening to this? What's your take on this? What is the chance of the yellow vests overspilling from France to the UK and basically Parliament going, oh, whoa, okay, now we're seeing the economy being held to ransom. We cannot afford to continue along this anti-democratic path. We have to give the British people what they voted for, after all. Could that happen? Is that a possibility? Please give us hope. Baxter?
You want more?
Hey?
Yes, it's going to happen. And actually get out of it. We've tried peaceful marches. We've tried not being nice. It's now time to put on our yellow jacket, if you have one in your boot of your car.
If you don't, you can get one in Halfords, by the way. Go on, Chris.
And all the fancy cars, all the fancy shops are listening. Those far right, extreme right people.
You mean regular people that need to pay the bill at the end of the month?
Normal, everyday people. You need to start listening.
What we should be doing is putting our yellow vest on to go shopping.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's a good idea. That is a great idea, Chris Ford.
I mean,
we should.
At least people would look at me, wouldn't they, on my scooter and think, what the hell has she got an Irish vest on for?
I'm away from France.
Okay, all right. Look, I'm gonna. We've got 8 minutes left of this show, and this has been an angry show from my point of view, and at the top of it was anyway. These lovely folks on the line here have calmed me down a bit, but it's so frustrating when you're trying to produce an informational vehicle for people, and you're being thwarted by the channels on which you're putting it out one way and another. And I have to say, I find it extraordinarily frustrating, which is why I've been building the website for the show, so I don't have to rely on these damn social networks quite as much in various ways. I will still be using them, I will be using them as opposed to allowing them to use me. And Daily Brexit, the new website at dailybrexit.uk, is very, very close now. Very close. It would be closer if it wasn't for the fact that I've had to scramble doing other things, such as I did this afternoon. I was hoping to spend a couple of hours on the site this afternoon, for example, a couple of hours that I wasn't able to spend on it because of Facebook jailing me because they don't like what I put out. And I was hoping to spend a couple of hours on it this morning as well. But I had to spend those couple of hours in the police station because my credit card was nicked, or the details were nicked online or what have you. I think probably by organized crime. There were 9 payments that went out within about an hour on the same day, on the 19th of November, which I noticed yesterday when I bothered to look at my account and to scrutinize it. And what's all that lot? 350 quid or so. And these payments, they were all from Germany, all to a company called Flixbus, which is a bus company, and they in Berlin. And I don't know, you tell me, 9 different tickets bought within an hour or so. I reckon, I might be wrong, but I reckon that my card but the details were sold to a migrant or a bunch of migrants, some of those wonderful Merkin male migrants that she brought in to disrupt Germany and so on and so forth. And now they are traveling around Europe on stolen credit cards, details and so on and so forth. So I had to go to the cop shop earlier to report the fraud. And they were great, by the way. And actually, they told me down at the police station today that this is in Valencia in Spain, where I am, yeah, because I'm an expat, a migrant, sorry. I am a migrant myself, yeah. And I know the migrant mentality. Migrants, they care about their culture of origin, yeah, not of destination. Guess what? They actually said at the cop shop, Flixbus. Oh, we've had several instances of Flixbus, the policeman told me earlier, which was quite interesting. And yesterday, when I reported it to my bank, who then subsequently said go to the cop shop today, and that was another couple of hours yesterday, by the way, the bank said, we have had 3 cases of stolen credit card details being used in a similar fashion just this morning. And so there's all sorts of different, aspects to this story. But anyway, cheers, Angela Merkel. You're really helping, folks to get on with their lives and basically wasting our time with your Kalergi Coudenhove nonsense. Anyway, look, I did want to, as we approach the very end of the show here, I did just want to go through what I guess is the main story today, all in all. We know May's been, talking to Mark Rutte or whatever, and Merkin and Juncker and whatever. Groundhog May, all of that. But the point is, when do we get rid of her? How can we get rid of her? And so, yeah, sure, it's all the propaganda and what have you. But according to Express, Brexit Live, it's on your screen now. Brexit Live, May's future in balance as no confidence vote looms with 48 letters received. According to Express, Theresa May could be facing an imminent leadership challenge following reports that the 48 letters required to trigger a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister have been submitted by Tory MPs. Whether or not this is fake news or what, I don't know, or mistaken news, I should say, because I wouldn't have thought that they would fake this. The shock revelation comes as Mrs. May has travelled to Europe in a desperate attempt to secure last-minute concessions on her Brexit deal from EU leaders. The Prime Minister will meet European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker this evening, following talks with Angela Merkel and Dutch PM Mark Rutte. Mrs. May's meetings come after she made the 11th hour decision to scrap the crucial House of Commons vote on her Brexit deal, which was scheduled to take place today. Oh, Chris Ford, I apologise. I said it was supposed to be yesterday. You're right. It was supposed to be today. She is now hoping to return to Brussels to secure additional reassurances over her deal. Blah, 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 blah. We know all about that. Who cares? The important thing is whether or not those 48 letters have gone in. But also, it's not just that. It's very well putting the 48 letters in. They have to get her out. And the only way they can do that is with a vote of no confidence. And that vote of no confidence requires far more than 48 names. And if they don't get that, if she actually wins the vote of no confidence, then we are stuck with her for 1 year before another vote of no confidence could take place. So anyway, that is where we are this evening. And let's just hope that not only those 48 letters have gone in, but that it will be followed up with a successful vote of no confidence. So at least we've got a hope of having somebody who is remotely a Brexiteer in the top job. I don't know why it does this. I need to check that on the outro.
Ollie, don't forget to watch that video
Go on, Chris. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. It'll give you some insight.
Would you
Okay.
please would you message me the details on that, Chris? And I promise I will look.
I've sent you it by messenger.
God bless you, Chris Ford. Thank you so much. It's lovely to see,
Okay.
lovely to talk to you. It's the first time you've been on the show, isn't it? Well, you and I have spoken before, but not on the show.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Okay, Ollie.
God bless you. Thank you, Chris Baxter, too. Thanks, Chris. Thank you.
Bye.
You've been watching a very frazzled Daily Brexit this evening. Aye. Yeah, okay. Tomorrow we have Jason Tyler coming in from wakeupuk.net. That's Jason Tyler tomorrow at 6 UK time. On Thursday, we've got Daryl Goodliffe from Kipper Central, talking about changing fortunes and so on and so forth at UKIP. And that'll be this week wrapped up because no show this Friday. But this show is back as of yesterday. It is back now. Daily Brexit. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. GMT. And also, you know what? I need to make an apology here because I haven't read any comments whatsoever today. I normally do, albeit it's normally from Facebook. But I mean, like, we got Nigel Brown, Rob Bob here, Thomas Bell, Stav Woodcutter from Axiom Curb, Michael Page. Look, guys, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. I will be better tomorrow. God bless you. Here's to us. And bugger plutocracy. Yeah. All right. Ciao. Mañana.